Thank you, Celia, for joining me today.
Fantastic.
Tell me a little bit about yourself and your background and what got you into fitness.
What got me into fitness? So, I definitely did not have a traditional journey to fitness. I wasn't a very athletic kid growing up. I didn't play any team sports. Fitness was there, but it seemed like something that was like a little too much. But I was just kind of a regular kid, active, playing outside. I worked on a couple ranches when I was like 17, 18, till about my early 20s and did that. And also did a lot of outdoor recreation. So my background is primarily in outdoor recreation. So I taught a lot of aquatics. I did a lot of swimming coaching. I did lifeguard training. I taught rock climbing even. I taught first aid classes. So I had that kind of teaching in a non-traditional setting background. And fitness came into the picture. I had moved somewhere that was really flat and there was no climbing, no backpacking. There was nowhere to hike. Still swimming, so I did that, but there was no way to kind of that energy off. That's accomplishment. So I picked up a barbell and I picked up a barbell because I knew I wanted to get fit, just move somewhere where I didn't know a lot of people. So I had the time, I had the energy, I had a gym access. And so I picked up a barbell because I didn't want to run. I just knew fitness in my head meant running. And I didn't want to do that. I wasn't a big runner or anything like that. Even when I joined the military, I still am just not a big running person, but because I had to. Picked up there was such a sense of accomplishment afterwards. It was like, oh, I lifted X amount of weight today. That's huge. I've never done that before. 10 years later, I've been doing competitive powerlifting for
Oh,
10 years and I have refereed and been sports. And when I left healthcare and I left the military, I was like, okay, it's time to pivot. I had a very stressful life and I wanted to pivot to kind of a kinder field where I'm still making a difference in people's lives, but a little less intense setting. And it's more of a one-on-one thing. And yeah, I found myself back at a YMCA applying for fitness positions, and they offered a chance to get my personal training certification. I was like, let's make it official. I've been doing this kind of stuff for a while, so that's where I'm at.
that's awesome. That was great. I love the backstory.
Thank you.
So, when they were telling you, okay, get your fitness certification, what was your first thought on where to look?
So I had started looking for places, thinking like, I pay for this on my own. Am I going to use tuition assistance for my military benefits? Like, how are we going to go through this? I looked at a lot of different places. I looked at ASM, ACE, all the very like whole things that are my at the Y actually said, hey, we've got this deal with Lionel University and we've worked with them in the past and we can get you going through that. So because I am who I am, I had to like into it and look it up, and I wanted to make sure this wasn't just like a random thing that someone was sometimes too good to true. It can be.
Yeah.
So I looked up Lionel University and realized I came from my school of thinking. Hatfield's involved in it, and I'm doing Hatfield squats for 10 years. So
Oh, really?
sitting in the class, it was just perfect. This is speaking a language that I understand. This is stuff I've been applying for the past like years without even knowing about it. And it just kind of, the course was set out very much spoke to me as a strength athlete. I was like, oh, okay, this is great. So I got very lucky and it turned out to be the perfect fit.
Oh, that's awesome. And so, after you took the course, were you able to apply any new methods?
Pretty much. I was
Okay.
fortunate enough that I had clients waiting for me at my job that I already had. So it really kind of taught me how to break down the basics too, because, you've been in fitness for however many years, eventually it turns into a different language. And it's hard to communicate that with clients sometimes where you're just like, oh yeah, you're just going to externally rotate this and engage your core. And then we're going to create tension on the outside of your foot. And they're looking at you like you're speaking Greek or something. One of the things I really took away from the course is like, you need to meet the client where they're at. Fitness is different for everybody. Levels of fitness are different for everybody. So reiterated that there wasn't any one way to do, and that there was a lot of basic knowledge and science, but how you apply that to your client. And we would go over different scenarios, different types of people would need our services. And it was, I think the part I was most worried about is like, how do I break this down into a language that anyone can meet? Not a beginner. How can I talk to them? If I've got an intermediate person, if I've got an elderly person, like depending on what their background is, I really learned a lot about working with different populations.
That's very cool. And so,
Yeah.
speaking of populations, do you have a specific group that you focus on, or is it just
I think when I first wanted to go into this, I was kind of into training everybody, but in a very short time, I realized I was training mostly women. And the fact that the course never really presented fitness as gendered was also really important to me because having been in the fitness world, having gone through my adolescence in the 2000s, this was very gendered. It was women do the workout classes and the little light baby weights and, go lift big weights in the weight room. And I really liked how the course never said that. It was everybody can lift weights. Everybody can do fitness classes. It was very much like, okay, these are things accessible to everyone. So I train mostly women right now, and I truly enjoy it, getting to carry a lot of those strength principles over to people that may not have had this as an option in their head, even for the longest time. I would say out of all my clients, the majority of them, I would say 75% of them are come in just kind of new with no fitness background,
Okay.
which is, I kind of that because I'm like, great, let's start with good, solid habits from the start. Let's information from the start because from experience, when I first got into fitness, I just kind of dove in with no real guidance. It took me a while to hire a coach and everything like that. So you could say I have a lot of inexperience, and this course is really just kind of it. So I feel like, okay, you're coming from ground zero. I also from ground zero. Now I have the tools to help that I wish I had when I was getting started.
That's cool. And with this program, you obviously had some clientele before you got into this program. How hard is it or easy is it for you to find clients now that you've built up
It
clientele?
is, I feel like that's a loaded question. It's a really interesting time to be starting out in fitness and personal training because fact of the matter is it is a luxury for a lot of people. And unfortunately, when times are harder, people are making less money. It tends to be the thing that gets the chopping block and gets the axe. One of the populations I feel has probably the most income for training right now is older populations, kind of the 55 and up, because their insurance will cover a gym membership at some places, whether it's big box gyms or community centers, or to the YMCA or specialty gyms. So I'm finding opening up to that type of population keeps my books pretty full, which is great because these are people that are like, okay, I need to maintain a base level of fitness for the rest of my life so I can continue to enjoy life. And it's nice because these people come with broader, more functional goals. It's like, I want to be able to play. I want to be able to not get so tired when I walk the dogs. I'm walking with a cane. I want to be able to walk with the cane less. So they all come with very specific goals, which I really like. Whereas some people just kind of with I just want to get strong. And I'm like, okay, we got to narrow it down a little bit. Certainly working with older populations has made it easier for me to find clientele. I know it's not for everybody. I haven't started opening my books up for online clients. I'm still kind of developing how I want to do that, but I'm also out to military clients as well. They have fitness standards they want to keep up with. I have a military background, so I'm like, understand what you're going through. One of my most recent clients was a 16-year-old that's into the Naval Academy, and her dad hired me to help her with the candidate fitness assessment. So that's also clientele I can get, which is really great. Going into the next chapter of their life that may require some type of physical environment, and because I'm familiar with those, it's like, so I think part of it is helping out, looking outside of the normal clientele. So look at older populations. And then it's just kind of these niche things that I have experience with that I can offer. So I think definitely having those little niche things, whether it's specifically powerlifting, strength training, military background, and really help people in their little community that
That's cool. I appreciate you sharing that.
yeah.
Is when you've been in the fitness industry for a very long time, what would you say is your favorite part about it? And then on the flip side, what do you dislike about the fitness industry right now?
My favorite part is watching people figure out how strong they are. It's truly my favorite thing is just putting a weight on a bar or a machine and not telling the client, I just want you to lift this. If you can't get it, no big deal, but try it. Not telling them what weight is on the bar. Oh, you just lifted 150 pounds and just look on their face. Just is amazing. I think also helping women realize they're so stronger than they For example, you have a new mom coming in and she's just like, I think I'm very strong. I don't know if I can really get back in the gym. Meanwhile, she's got the baby on one hip with the diaper bag on the arm, and then she's got bassinet full of stuff here. I'm like, ma'am, you're carrying like 100 pounds standing here talking to me and you're not out of breath. So just kind of things into perspective for people has been really great. And teaching people how fitness shouldn't be a punishment. It should be a joy. It's something that adds to your life. This isn't be like, oh, I have to do this. So changing a paradigm shift for a lot of people has been great and helping them realize like how strong they really are. On the flip side, there I know nutrition doesn't really come into play with us a lot of times where it's like kind of broad guidance. People are convinced that if they shrink themselves, they will be fitter. If they eat less, they will be fitter. So I'm like, no, you still need to eat. Eating is so important. Like, are better food choices we can make? Yes. But taking food out of the equation is usually not the answer. So take up space. That's my encouragement for everybody.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's good advice.
A hard time. Like I mentioned, the early 2000s and 2000 was a hard time for a lot of people when it came to body image, and the idea of a fit body was just a very thin body. So it's just kind of, all right, let's reframe that mindset.
Agreed. What would make you say, hey, go to because of this? What would be some of the traits?
I have actually recommended it to a lot of my powerlifting friends that are kind of keen to do that next step. They either want to work more with general population fitness and kind of expand their mindset, or they want to back up their coaching. Not only because there's a lot of people online that just say they're a coach, but to have the certification to back it up is huge. So I would recommend people to this course because it was very straightforward without being dull, and it was full of really good information without being overwhelming. So I would definitely recommend it to people, especially if you already have a strength training background. It's the right places and learning the right words for things. So that's what I would tell people. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really good feedback. Is there anything else you would like to mention about the course or about yourself?
This has really given me a great opportunity to kind of my footing and pivot my career in a very unexpected way, in a really great way. So recommend it to anybody, especially if you are tired of sitting in an office all day under fluorescent lighting and you have an interest in fitness. It's a great opportunity that people can take to educate others while also kind of in their own cup, because it's truly a very fulfilling profession. So just tell people, just do it. Do it.
I love it.
If you've ever thought about it, just now's the time.